Hello everyone, how are you all today? This is Ashar Khan from Shiv Jyoti Educational Group Kota, and I welcome you all to our video lecture. Students, I do hope that you are all fine at home and taking good care of your health, okay, as well as keeping up with your studies. So students, we are now revising the chapters of civics, okay. We are revising chapter number 1 and chapter number 3 of civics today, okay. The rest of the chapters we will be revising in our next lecture. So the chapters that we are revising today is chapter number 1, understanding diversity. Chapter number 3, what is government? We'll be revising the points to remember, okay. We'll also discuss the internal questions and answers as well as the CW questions of both the chapters. So students, I do hope that you go through this video thoroughly, and even if you have any more doubts regarding any of the topics that we discuss in this video, we have our doubt classes, okay. You can attend those doubt classes and I'll solve your queries. So students, let us begin. So the first chapter is understanding diversity, okay. So open your civics book on page number 1, that is chapter 1, understanding diversity. So the first thing that we learnt in this chapter was what is diversity? Diversity क्या होती है? देखो, diversity means our differences, okay. If you would remember in your classes, did every student look like you? No, right? They all look different, right? Some were taller, some were shorter, some belong to some other religion or caste, correct? This is what diversity is about. Diversity is about the differences that we have between each other, okay? Different types of diversity. Now let us discuss what things can be diverse about in diversity. So students, look here. Okay, we are learning about diversity. Now, diversity can be on the basis of color. We all have different skin colors, right? So the very first thing that diversity can be about is color, okay? Now, religion. People around you follow different religion, they have different faith, different beliefs, right? That is also a thing we can be diverse about. Then we have caste, okay? Language, people speak different language, right? And last, gender, okay? So these are few things about which we can emphasize on our diversity, okay? ये कुछ चीज़ें हैं जिसमें हम diverse होते हैं, means everyone has different skin color, different religion, different caste, okay? Different languages we speak, different gender, okay? Male or female we have, right? So these are some of the topics on which diversity can be focused on. Moving on, diversity makes our life interesting, okay? Just because there are so many people around you, it makes your life interesting. How so? You have different religions, okay? Different festivals they celebrate. You have Eid, you have Diwali, you have Christmas, you have Holi, correct? Furthermore, different food. Every culture has different food cuisines. Imagine if you have to eat the same amount of food every day, the same type of food every day. Your life will become dull, right? But now we have so many cultures, especially in our country, India, right? You have Maharashtrian, you have Bengali food, you have Punjabi food, you have Rajasthani food. See, so diversity makes our life interesting because there are differences among us. Okay, as I just told you that there is diversity in India, a lot many people live here, okay? You will find people of different religion, different caste, different language background, different ethnicity, okay? This makes our life very interesting, and that is why Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister of our free India, what did he say? He said, India has unity in diversity, that even though we are very different from each other, हम सब क्या हैं? अलग-अलग हैं. We eat different food, different religion, different language, but still we have unity among us. We are united. Okay, students, so these were some of the topics that were covered in the chapter. Now, let us mark the internal question answers of the first chapter. Okay, so I would request you all to open your book on page number 10. Okay, open your book on page number 10, and on the top para, okay, the blank space, write the question, who discovered the sea route to India from Europe? Okay, the first sailor who discovered the sea route means the way to come to India by sea. Who was the person who discovered the sea route to India from Europe? The person was Vasco da Gama. Okay. So on page number 10, write the question on the top. And just below that, write the answer. Vasco da Gama was the first European sailor who discovered the sea route to India from Europe. Okay, there were many things which were found in India. That is why everyone used to come to India to trade. Okay, we will discuss this in our copy work as well in a minute. Now, on the same page number 10 only, now at the bottom of the page, write what is China Wala. Okay, the second internal question is what is China Wala on page number 10. Let us discuss the question first. Let me explain you the answer, then I'll help you mark it in your book. Okay, children, the fishing nets used in Kerala. Okay, in Kerala, fishing is one of the main occupation. So the fishing nets they use, which look exactly like the Chinese fishing nets, those fishing nets are called China Wala. Okay, the fishing nets used in Kerala, which looks like Chinese fishing nets, are called China Wala. You will find the answer to mark in the last para of the book. Okay, students. So in the last para, the fishing nets used. Now there is a word here. Cut the word here and use in Kerala. Okay, here cut it and write in Kerala. Just above that. The rest is exactly the same. So it will read as the fishing nets used in Kerala look exactly like the Chinese fishing nets and are called China Wala. Okay, underline it carefully. Okay, so this was the second internal question and its answer. Now moving on to copy work of the first chapter. If you have not done it in your copy, then please do so. Okay, so our first question of the chapter is who coined the phrase unity in diversity. Okay, I just explained it to you that who said the word unity in diversity regarding India. It was Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru who coined the phrase unity in diversity. Okay. Second, who composed the Indian national anthem, the national anthem Jan Gan Man that we sing, okay, daily in our school assembly, right? Who composed it? Who wrote it? Who sang it? Rabindranath Tagore composed the Indian national anthem. Who composed it? Rabindranath Tagore. Now, question number 3, what is diversity? What is diversity? Differences in regional means where we live, different culture, the language or the food, the clothing style, okay, different cultures that we have, religious background, linguistic means your language background. So differences in any of these is called diversity. It means if you have a difference, like even with your friend as well, आपके friends से आप बिल्कुल same हो ऐसा तो possible हो नहीं, right? Maybe he's from a different state, maybe he has a different religion, okay, they have a different culture, right? This is what diversity is. What makes Kerala an attractive place for traders? Why is Kerala an attractive place for traders? जो व्यापारी होते हैं, why Kerala is an attractive place for them? See, it's the spices of Kerala that makes it an attractive place for trader. Kerala has a lot many spices. It's a very hot and humid state, so a lot of spices are grown there, okay, which makes it an attractive place for traders. Where is Ladakh situated? Ladakh is situated in the eastern part of Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, Ladakh is situated in the eastern part. If right at the northern part, the east northern, okay, you will find Ladakh in the northeast. Next question. What do you mean by inequality? Give an example. Now students, it's fairly common that whenever we have a difference among us, sometimes inequality also happens. We don't treat people same. So what is inequality? Inequality comes about when a person does not have the resources and opportunities that are available to other person. Okay? Means जो opportunities मेरे पास है, अगर सामने वाले को वो opportunity नहीं मिल रही है, then this is called inequality. There is a discrimination happening between me and the person in front of me. Okay? That is called inequality. Example, the caste system is an example of inequality. There are a lot of castes in India. Some castes are considered high, some castes are considered low. This is an example of inequality. Why so? Because of the high and low status. They are not considered equal, right? So ये क्या हुआ? Inequality. Okay? Moving on. What did Nehru try to explain about India's unity in his book, The Discovery of India? Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru in his book wrote something about India's unity. Let's see what he wrote. Nehru said that India's unity is not something imposed from outside. That the unity in India, the different kinds of people we have, it's not imposed on us, it's not forcefully, okay? But it is something deeper, and within its fold, the widest tolerance of belief and custom is practice. He said that it's not forced on people here, the unity that we have, but this is something very deep in our culture, in our belief, in our customs, okay? That is why even though we are a lot different from each other, still India is united and every variety is acknowledged and encouraged. No one is suppressed in India, everyone is acknowledged and they are encouraged to follow their culture, okay? What do you think living in India with its rich heritage of diversity adds to your life? You live in India, okay? I just told you that we have a very rich heritage of culture, language, food, clothing style, okay? So what does it add to your life? How does it affect your life? Let's see. See, things which add rich heritage of diversity to our life are, first point, we meet people with different languages. There are so many languages spoken in India, so many dialects, right? So you will see people using different languages, which makes our life interesting, okay? Then we have large variety in foods, many food cuisines. You go to a restaurant, you will find all types, South Indian, you will find North Indian food, South Indian food, Eastern food, Rajasthani food, right? So why is this possible? Because we have diversity in India. There are many people and their culture is encouraged, okay? We celebrate different festivals and respect their cultures, okay? We celebrate different festivals as well and we respect everyone's culture. Different dance and music forms are also being practiced in India, as well as variety of dressing styles and clothes of the region, okay? Every region has a variety of dressing style and clothes, okay? So these many things makes our life interesting. And why is it possible? Because we have diversity. India is a diverse group of people, okay? So I hope you understood this chapter. Moving on, let's revise chapter number 3 now, which is what is government, okay? Let's see. So the first thing, which is the name of the chapter, what is government? A government is a group of people who rule over us, okay? And what gives them this power? Now that comes under different types of government that we will discuss. First, let us see what the levels of government are. Government is divided on different levels, okay? The first level is called the national level or the central level, okay? Which takes care of the entire country. The second is the state government and the last one is the local government, okay? So how many levels of government we have? We have 3 levels of government, that is central, also called national government or union government, okay? Then we have state government and then we have local government, okay? Then laws and the government. One of the many integral things that our government does is making laws and enforcing them on the people. Can you imagine a society, a country where no laws are obeyed by people? No, right? It will be chaos. Everyone will be allowed to do whatever they want to. That is why our government makes laws. हमारी government क्या करती है? Laws बनाती है और उनको enforce करती है लोगों पे, so that people may live in peace and order. Then types of government. In this chapter particular, we learned about 2 types of government, which is monarchy and democracy. Okay, we will discuss this more in our copywork as well. And the last thing that we learned in this chapter, students, it was universal adult franchisee. What is universal adult franchisee? That means everyone who is a citizen of India, okay, we follow universal adult franchisee in India. What does this mean? That anyone, every citizen who lives in India, who is of the age of 18 or above the age of 18 has the right to vote, okay. So if you are of 18, when you will turn 18, right, you will also get the right to vote without any discrimination on the basis of religion, caste, gender or literally anything, okay. As soon as you turn 18, you have the power of universal adult franchisee, which is the right to vote. You will be able to choose your government, okay. Now let us mark the internal questions and answers of chapter number 3, what is government, okay. So open your book on page number 31 and on the top blank space write the first question, what do you mean by monarchy, okay. On page number 31 write the question, what do you mean by monarchy. Open your book. So students, on page number 31, the answer is, let me first explain it to you. The king or queen has the power to make decisions and run the government. A monarchy is a form of government, okay. Monarchy क्या है? It's a form of a government in which the king or queen, the monarch, has the power to make decisions, to make the rules and run the government in whichever way they want to. That is called monarchy. Okay, where will you find the answer? On page number 31, second paragraph. Okay, right hand side. The monarch, the king or queen, has the power to make decisions and run the government. Underline these 3 lines carefully. Okay, this is the answer to your first internal question on page number 31. What do you mean by monarchy? If you have trouble writing the questions, then you can pause the video, students, to write the question first and then move on to the answer part. Okay. On page number 32, write the second internal question. What are the 2 types of governments mentioned in the chapter? In this chapter, students, we learnt about 2 types of government. So write this question on page number 32. You have free space here. Write the question here on page 32. Okay. And beneath that question only write the answer monarchy and democracy. We learnt about 2 types of government, monarchy and democracy. Okay, students. So these were the internal questions and answers of chapter number 3. Please mark them very carefully and go through them as well. Now let us discuss the copywork of chapter number 3. So the first question, it is very simple. Name the 3 levels at which government works. I just told you as well, the government works at the 3 levels, which are local, state and national. Okay, there is a local level of government, then there is a state level government and a national level of government. Okay. What is universal adult franchisee? Universal adult franchisee means that all adults in the country are allowed to vote. Okay, and what is the age when you are called an adult? That is 18 years in India. Okay, universal adult franchisee का मतलब है जो जितने भी adult हैं of the age of 18 and above the age of 18 are allowed to vote. This is what universal adult franchisee means. Now, what was unfair practice in Gandhiji's eyes? In Gandhiji's eyes, there was practice which is unfair. Let us see what it was. In pre-independent India means India before independent. Okay, the pre is written here. It means India before independent. Only a small minority was allowed to vote. Means people who were educated, who allied themselves with the British, only they were allowed to vote before independence. Okay, it is they who determine the fate of the majority. This very practice was seen as unfair practice by Gandhiji. Gandhiji said that this practice is unfair. Why? Because not everyone is getting the same treatment. Okay, only some people had the right to vote in India before independence, and this was unfair, not right in Gandhiji's eyes. Okay. Next question. Name 2 essential features of a democratic government. 2 required features. Then only we can call a government democratic. Okay. 2 features are, first, people have the power to elect their leaders. That means that if you say that our country is democratic, that means elections must be taking place there. वहाँ पे election होने चाहिए और लोगों के पास क्या power होनी चाहिए? To elect their leader, to go and vote for their leaders. Okay, that is a very key principle of a democratic government. Okay. Second point, people get the choice of electing a new government after fixed intervals of time. Okay, after you have elected a new government, then that government will rule for some amount of time. In India it is 5 years, and after 5 years what will happen? Re-election. That means people will again get the power to decide which government they want to have rule them over. Okay. List any 2 functions of the government. Okay. What are the functions of the government? You have to write any 2 functions of the government. So the first one is the government protects the boundaries of the country. Okay. The government, the first and very integral part the government does is that it protects the boundary of our country. Okay, India's. जो इंडिया की गवर्नमेंट है वो भी क्या करती है? It protects the boundary of the country. Okay. Second, it maintains peaceful relations with other countries. Okay. We try not to fight with our neighbors. Okay. We try to follow peaceful relations with our other countries. Okay. Now this question is very important. Differentiate between democracy and monarchy. So focus your attention here, students. Number 1, it is the government chosen by the people. What is a democracy? It's a very simple that people choose this government. They go and vote for their leaders, and in doing so they choose their government. But this does not happen in monarchy. Why? Because it is based on hereditary. That means the king is ruling, and when that king will die, his son will rule. Okay, and then after that his son. Okay, this happens in monarchy. People don't elect their leaders in a monarchy. They do so in democracy. Okay. Next point. People have the power to take the decisions. People have the power to take decisions means if the government is doing something wrong, the people can hold them accountable. They can say you're doing this wrong. Okay. That means people have some power as well over the government, but not in monarchy. Why? Because the monarch, the king or queen, has the power to make decisions and run the government. Whichever decision, whichever law they want to make, they are free to do so, right? They are not accountable to the people. And even if the people protested against that particular law or whatever the king is doing, the king will not listen to them, okay? But they cannot do so in democracy. The democracy में जो हमारे leader होते हैं, they have to listen to the people, okay? Because अगर वो नहीं सुनेंगे तो क्या होगा? Next 5 years, people won't vote for them again, right? Number 3, in a democracy, the government has to explain its action and defend its decision to the people. The government is accountable to the people, means whatever the government is doing, it has to tell the people that we are doing this and they have to defend their decision. Why are we doing this? Okay, but kings and queens do not have to explain their actions or defend the decisions they take. But the kings and queens, they don't have to defend their actions, they can do whatever they want. Okay, and they are not answerable to the people. So, next question. Why do you think the government needs to make rules for everyone in the form of laws? Why our government makes rules and laws? Okay, answer. Government makes rules in the forms of law because, first, it ensures the security of the nation and its people. When we have rules and laws for, over us, that means that we are protected by them. Okay, that means some bad people cannot do bad things to us. Why? Because if they break the law, then they will get punished. So it is the fear of the law which helps maintain a peaceful society. This is the only way governments can function. Now, imagine a government when there are no rules. Imagine a government when no one follows any rules, there are no laws. That would create chaos, right? So that is why government can function, because they can make rules and laws for the people and for the government themselves as well. Okay? The government is not above rules and laws. They also have to follow the rules and laws. It is the way to enforce government decisions. By making rules and laws, the government can enforce their decisions on the people. Next question. What was the suffrage movement and what did it accomplish? It's a very important topic, suffrage movement. You should remember this. Okay, let's discuss. See, the movement for voting rights to women came to be known as the suffrage movement. Okay, earlier what used to happen, all over Europe and USA, women and the poor have had to fight for participation in the government. Earlier, women and poor people did not have the right to vote. Okay, they could not vote, only men were allowed to vote. So the struggle which the women did, okay, the women, they struggled for their right to vote. That movement is called suffrage movement. Okay, women's struggle to vote got strengthened during the First World War. When the First World War started, what happened? During the war, many men were away fighting. Okay, when the war started, the men were required to go and fight in the battlefield. That left the women. Because of this, women were called upon to do work that was earlier considered man's work. Now women were running shops, businesses. Okay, so this empowered women. They realized that we are not just supposed to do the housework only. If we want, we can do the work which is done by men as well. Okay, thus women got opportunity to show their capability. Now they were doing the work, okay, that is office work, businesses, running shops, and everything which the men used to do. People as a whole got disillusioned. They began demanding the right to vote for all women. Now people realize that it's high time that we should give equality to everyone. That means voting right to all women. Okay, the result was positive, and then what happened? Their struggle was positive. It gave them a good result. American women got the right to vote in 1920, and finally in 1920 women in America got the right to vote, while women in the UK, that is United Kingdom, got the right to vote on the same terms as men some years later in 1928. Why this happened? Because of suffrage movement. And what was suffrage movement? The women's struggle, their movement to get the same amount of right as the men had, okay, which was the right to vote, same political rights. So students, thank you so much for watching the lecture.